got a big week ahead of us, starting today, where we're in full pads and going to be working some normal situations. Heavy emphasis on the run game today. So with that, I'll open it up.
What do you look for specifically when you go to full pads?
It's all about fundamentals right now. Leverage, hand placement, ability to separate when you're getting grabbed and held. We're allowing more things at practice. Picks and twists up front, power rushes, attacking the defensive linemen when they jump up, and the different things we're allowing. So this is where the game's played, but today we're looking for good energy. There's we place, I'd say, rules on in practice. We're not bringing them down to the ground. We got to take care of our guys, but want to be physical, want to be in good position, play with good leverage, play aggressive, move the line of scrimmage, stop the line of scrimmage.
You ever tackle the ground in practice?
We may with kind of our 2s and 3s at one point here. Probably maybe in a week we have it kind of scheduled out for that, but we'll see as we go if we need it.
Brian, you sense your players chomping at the bit to get the pads on, to get into the action?
Yeah, the game is the offensive line and defensive line. It's an important position on our team. We got to get those guys ready to go and learn how to play with our pads on. Quarterbacks throwing a little bit differently with the pads. They're excited, but you always got to try to talk to them about their expectations and the things we can do and we can't do. We only have a certain amount of guys on our team. We want to keep them as healthy as we can.
Will John Feliciano be back today?
He will not. Day or two away, but he'll be here this week.
And this is still just like a heat?
Yeah. He's working through some things, so he'll be hopefully tomorrow, but maybe the next day.
Is his treatment just intravenous stuff?
Yeah, he's taking care of himself. They're working with him. He'll be okay.
You gave Shane a couple of looks at center the other day. How'd that go?
Yeah, good. It's a start. We want to try to create position flexibility for our front guys, and obviously with John out, with Ben and Jamil, we wanted to add Lemieux inside and get Azudu some work inside there with the ones against Leo and Dexter and guys like that. So, he did a good job. We'll work with him in there today as well.
Is that something that you see as a potential long-term migration for him?
I haven't gone down that road far enough. I just think position flexibility is so important. Whether it's for Marcus at guard and tackle, John at guard and tackle, the more you can do up front, the better off it is for the player. The more opportunities they get.
Coach, are you sensing some of the guys that missed some of the spring practices are maybe pressing a little bit too hard early on to try to catch up and maybe impress?
Yeah, no. Again, it's physical, physical reps where you have to do it over and over and over again, and you get different things. It's different than watching it on the screen or talking about it. I think it's good for those guys. I don't think they're pressing. I just think it's it's early for them.
Coach, we're used to seeing a lot of 7-on-7 during this time of the year. I don't recall really seeing very much so far from you guys. Is there a reason you've been staying away from it?
Yeah, we've worked a lot of 7-on-7 in the spring. I like the quarterback to feel the people around him. There's a time and a place for it. We've in some of those spots, instead of 7-on-7, we've worked individual technique, whether it's 1-on-1s, 2-on-2s, 3-on-3s. Today will be a lot of 1-on-1 work toward the end of individual. But I think it's important for a quarterback to feel the people around him up front in particular.
Brian, when you say that, obviously you're not calling plays dead because of what would have been a sack. Is there a line between you want Daniel still to get rid of the ball if he's about to get sacked, or just running the play though?
Yeah, no, absolutely. You want to try to mentally in your head when you're playing quarterback, play the game the best you can. Get the ball out when you need to get the ball out. But there's other times where I'll tell them, look, hold on to it and spin it, and let's see how it looks downfield. And again, you're evaluating your roster too during training camp. So you want to see a defensive back be able to. How is he going to be in the deep part of the field? Throw a bunch of goes on some corners, see how they react to it. So, we're trying to do everything for a reason, and some of that is evaluation purposes too.
Coach, is developing the position flexibility along the offensive line one of the bigger challenges of the pro game than it is in college?
Yeah, I don't know. Could be. I mean, when I was at Bama, we did the same thing, but that's how Coach Saban wanted to cross-train guys and things like that. I just think it's important. You only get so many guys to go with, and we do the same thing with receivers or secondary guys. You learn inside, you learn outside, you learn the Z, you learn the X. There's injuries all the time, and people have to step up. I was just meeting with KT this morning about position flex and saying, hey, can I add another position for you and move you around to this spot? And you feel comfortable with that, or is it too much and it'll make you play slow? So I think you talk to your players, and the ones that can handle it, you try to do that with them.
Which KT?
The first KT, 89.
Okay.
Yeah, Thibodeau don't have KT yet.
Okay.
KT's got KT.
You look like you pulled back a little bit on 89 on
Yeah,
Saturday.
yeah, that was part of the plan
Seemed
relative
good.
to him coming through spring, and he had a good few days. So do some individual work, but he's fine.
What did he say when you said, can I add a little something for you?
He said, "Oh yeah," he had that big smile.
Now, players honest with you. I mean, sometimes they say what you want to hear. You
Yeah.
say, look, we're thinking this would be good for you. You want to do this? No, I'm not ready for that. Or do you want,
Yeah. Well, I think that goes back to the relationship part of the business, and look, you want them to tell you the truth. It's like quarterbacks. Daniel, do you like this play? Yeah, it's great. And then 2 months later, man, I don't really like that play because he got more comfortable with you. So we're trying to fast track that with the players, and again, they're the ones that are out there playing the game, and I want to be able to do things, whether it's on the kicking game, defense, offense, that the guys feel comfortable with. And if they don't feel comfortable with, give it a chance out here, and let's see how it looks. And after, maybe 2, 3, 4 times it doesn't look good, throw it out and work on something else.
Brian, do you have less flexibility in those regards with a receiver like Kenny?
No, KG's, I would say Grove's done a good job with these guys. They have a lot to learn. The receivers in our system, I'd say, have a lot to learn, a lot of different positions to play. And I just think that, early on in camp, when you're thinking a little bit, there's a lot of things going through your head. Maybe you don't play as fast. I'm not talking about KG in particular. I'm just talking about receivers in general with the way we do things. And then that's why we'll give it another week or two and things will settle down a little bit. But it helps them learn the whole concept of the play as well, which is important when you're playing against zone teams with spacing, where to be, how to be there. And you're also getting looks at different mismatches. When you put KT in the slot and you're looking at Darnay, then you put him outside, he's on, like, you're trying to get an evaluation of your team right now too, to make good judgment on that.
Brian, what type of feedback have you gotten on the Guardian caps from players?
None. Yeah, they've worn them, and we've been out there and we haven't had any discussions about them.
How have you seen the rookie class embrace expectations that they're going to be playing and a lot's going to be expected of them? Not just the first rounders, but like everybody.
Nope, that's good. They've done a nice job at there's a lot to learn as a rookie. We've talked about this in the spring, where to go, what to do, expectations off the field. Joe and I have communicated with them, I'd say several times, about expectations, foundational pieces for us that, this is our first class that we drafted. They've all done a nice job relative to things off the field, how we want to approach things, and then taking care of themselves, learning from some veterans. And then they've done a nice job on the practice field, competing. Got a long way to go, but I've been pleased with how those guys, all of them, really have done. Ashley Lynn has done a really good job with our rookie developmental program. They got to keep grinding, it's a long season.
What do you think about that? About the fact that you have a chance to probably have 5 rookies playing, almost starting type roles. That's a lot.
Yeah, I'm not that far ahead. I just we'll play the best guys, whoever that is, whether they're drafted in the first round, whether they're a 10-year veteran. We're going to try to put the best guys out there, and if it's 5 rookies, if it's 10 rookies, that's always when you're a coach, you're a position coach too. You're always, the veterans on the team have more experience. They know what to do. You feel comfortable with them, and the older I get, the the rookies that maybe don't know as much to do but have some really good talent, you're going to have to live through some growing pains with them while you're developing them to get into where you want to get to. But and we're going to play the best guys that we think give us a chance to win, whether it's, again, rookie, 10-year veteran, first-round pick, free agent. That's just how we're going to approach it.